Welcome to LSC, your local sports channel. From Kecoughtan High School, it's Thursday night volleyball. It's October the 10th, 2013. The 0-11 Kecoughtan boys play host to the 7-3 Bethel boys. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Hims, along with Frank Edgar Jr. The Bruins are coached by Lindsey Bomber Holcomb and assisted by Joe Pye. And I've known Joe Pye for a long, long time. And are 2-2 in Conference 2 play, looking to improve. Let's go over to Frank for an interview.
Thanks, Bob. I'm here with Coach Lindsey Bomba Holcomb. Your name literally means spike in volleyball. We learned that tonight.
Yes, it does.
Well, glad to have you here with us tonight. Your first time appearing on Channel 48. Tell the fans a little bit about volleyball at Bethel High School.
It's pretty competitive. We have a great team, solid athletes, natural athletes. They may not know the fundamentals of volleyball, but they can be taught to good athletes, so that's why we have such a good team.
Now, you've been teaching volleyball over there for both boys and girls. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's been interesting, kind of stressful, but fun. This is my passion. I love coaching. I coach CrossFit and I coach volleyball, so it's just embedded inside me.
You mentioned a little bit about CrossFit. Tell the fans at home what you mean by CrossFit and then how you brought it into the training for these players.
Well, I work at CrossFit Oyster Point, and during our conditioning season, I use those same methods of functional fitness in with the volleyball crowd. So once conditioning's over, we still dabble with CrossFit, but for the most part, it creates good athletes, jumping, squatting, digging balls. I mean, just the functionality of it really serves its purpose on any sport.
All right, now tell me, you got a bunch of athletes over there. Which ones should we keep our eye on tonight?
Probably my two captains, Russell Long and Hashikim Simmons. Both of them have full ride scholarships already, so they're amazing athletes. Russell has played for me for 3 years, the only kid I've had for longer than a year, and Hashikim has played for 2 years.
And anybody else, any young players coming along that we should look at?
There's a couple. Right out the top of my head, we have Carlamon and Josh Owusu. Both are fabulous athletes, and we'll have for next year.
All right, well, very good. Well, thank you for being here. We're here on Breast Cancer Awareness Night. I see you're in your pink with your pink flower. Very good. Good cause, and great to have Bethel here at Kecoughtan High School. Good to be. Thank you. Back to you, Bob.
All right, thanks, Frank. The Warriors are coached by Dean Epps. They are 0-5 in Conference 2 play. And they're trying to do an upset. And if you had lucky enough to watch the first game, the Bethel girls went out to 2 sets and then end up losing 3-2. But what a great competitive game that was. And we have been lucky enough to have a lot of fans here. And you'll hear them in the background when the ball is going out of bounds. They're yelling out, out, out. So you don't hit the ball, because if you hit it, then it's in play. I want to talk a little bit about my show while we got it just a second. It's called Sports Time, and Sports Time is on LSC on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 7:30 a.m., 7:30 p.m., and it's an interview show, and I've got a lot of athletes in, but we're doing a new thing called Conference Countdown. Had Ray Smith in last week, and Ray explained everything about this new system set up by the VHSL. Not really happy. A lot of them, the coaches are not happy. There's extra travel time, more expenses, and that sort of thing. So you get a chance to tune in and look at that. And then on next Monday, I've got Dave Johnson from the Daily Press coming in. And the Monday after that, I got Andy Hilton coming in from Recruit 757. So we'll be able to look at not only on the peninsula, but on the south side, and how these conferences will be affected, and not only in football, but in basketball and track and volleyball and everything. All the sports are going to be set up this way. So eventually it's going to look like, hey, what happened to the Peninsula District? Well, we got a minute right now. Let's run back over to Frank.
Thank you very much, Bob. I'm here with Kecoughtan High coach Dean Epps. Dean, your first year in this role of coaching volleyball here at Kecoughtan. Tell the fans a little bit about it.
Well, it's been exciting. It's been a rough year thus far, but I've seen lots of improvement from my players, and I'm really proud of the boys.
Now let's tell the fans at home, none of these boys have played for Kecoughtan volleyball before, correct?
That's correct. I started with a fresh roster. Nobody's ever played competitive volleyball before, so we're starting brand new.
Well, a lot of teaching I know goes into that. It's a lot of time for you, isn't it?
Yes, sir. 5 days a week, and the researching on the weekends. It's a lot of time, but it's well spent. I have a good group of boys, and they're not just good volleyball players, but they're good guys too.
Well, the one thing I'll note, and the fans will note during the game, is that it's not like you have 9 guys out here. You have a full roster. You got plenty of guys out here, so that shows that they really want to be here.
That's true, I do. Actually, at tryouts, we only had 2 show up, so it was a process for me to get out there and recruit. But once I got a solid core group of guys out, we started improving, and we've improved by leaps and bounds, I believe.
Well, very good. Tell me a little bit about a couple of the stars you had this year.
Well, I have one of my setters, Kyler Apgar. He's a really good kid. He's a junior here at Kecoughtan. He has really good hands. Jack Olson, he can hit the ball really well. And Marty Bryant, he's also one of my really good outside hitters.
And what's the key to getting your first win here this year?
Good passing. Good passing. Get the passing right, everything else will fall into place.
Well, that seems to hold true in the girls' game that we just watched. Very exciting girls' game. Volleyball seems to have caught on like wildfire here at Kecoughtan. I'm glad to see you were part of it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to have me here.
Dean Epps, the head coach of Kecoughtan High School's volleyball team. Dean, thank you very much.
All right, Frank, thank you.
Bob, back to you.
All right, thanks, Frank. I want to talk a little bit about the officials we've got tonight. We've got Betty Gaines and Dan Riley as our 2 officials. And, of course, you see everybody, you see a lot of pink around here. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is in October. Want to mention our crew real quick while I'm thinking about it. Got Randy Bagoli and Steve Fryer on the cameras on the side. Up in the stands, we got Lloyd McKenzie. We got Krista Campbell doing instant replay. Renee Campbell is camera control operator. Chief engineer and director is Don Chiraus. Engineer Greg Lesko. Andy Foley is our producer and probably does a little bit of graphics, and I'm trying to get him to trim his beard a little bit, but I can't get that done. So anyway, Frank, good interviews. Sound loud. You could hear the enthusiasm in both coaches.
Well, let me tell you, we've got a contrast here in programs, even though they've been going the same length of time. You have Dean Epps, who comes into Kecoughtan, gets 2 guys out in tryouts, and has to go recruit, and he does not teach here this year, so he's having to come over on his own time to find some guys to play. But he's found a very large group of kids to play, and that bodes well for the future of volleyball, men's or boys volleyball here at Kecoughtan.
Well, this is what it surprised me when I heard him say he only had 2, and I see how many kids he's got now. So, you know, he's really gone out and beat the bushes, got these kids out, and got them excited about volleyball here at Kecoughtan High School.
Well, I don't think he had to Shanghai them either. I think once they realized what a great time it is to come out here and play these matches, and of course, they play right after the girls play. The gym is full of families and all sorts of people here at Kecoughtan tonight. And so it's an exciting place to be. So I'm sure that's been part of the attractiveness. On the other side, Lindsey Bomba Holcomb has developed a program at Bethel, and I'm just watching them warm up out here, Bob. And this is hitting the ball. She has got a good group of athletes there at Bethel. You heard she's a CrossFit instructor, and she builds that into her practicing. We talked a couple times about that tonight. And what we're going to see tonight as a group of athletes that may not have played a lot of volleyball in the grand scheme of things, but these guys, that 22 about jumped over the net right there, and they raised it to 7'11" tall. So
well, let's talk a little bit about the starters we've got tonight.
Well, I'm going to tell you right up front, Lindsay's benched some of them.
I wondered it's changed.
So I got the current starters there for Kecoughtan tonight. Marty Bryant, you heard the Coach F mention him. Zach Heath, Kyler Apgar, Michael Wright, Josh Gleb, and Spencer Vincent get the call. The libero tonight is Hayden Smith for the Warriors. We're going to have to see who walks out here.
You say Hayden Smith?
Hey, that's what it says. Yeah, not our Hayden. Hayden Smith. And you'll see, I think you'll see a different starting than we have in our possession here for the Bruins. I think there's a little bit of a disciplinary, you got to be there on time kind of
well, absolutely. But what we have is Spencer Vincent, Joey Hildebrand, Kyler, Apgar, Marty Bryant, Jack Olson, and Michael Wright.
That's Kecoughtan.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Kecoughtan.
Bethel's
okay.
where you're going to get the mixture. Now,
here we go.
You'll hear Russ Long, number 21, who has already got a scholarship in this sport. And then Hashakim Simmons, also, Lindsay said keep an eye on. So you got players, and I'll tell you one thing, I'm watching Salim Brown, and I think Salim Brown's going to leap over the net before he finishes warm-ups here, as these guys for Bethel are really getting off the ground. So it looks like the defense of Kecoughtan is going to be called on tonight to keep them in the game. Again, they're looking for their first win this year, but as a team that's just starting out, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, it isn't. And you're going against a team that has really come together, and some of the players have been on Lindsey Bama Holcomb's team for 3 years.
Right.
So
well, she said one, Russ Long, number 21. And I look forward to seeing, here he is right here. Nice-looking young man, good size.
He's got a full ride.
There he is, full ride.
And there was another one that had a full ride.
Hashikam Simmons is a co-captain and outside hitter. And that means you're going to see him a lot here on our side. We're on the right side of the net facing the television. So we're going to see a lot of these guys. And whether they get the start or not, you'll see a lot of them. Well, it's a great crowd here, Bob. We're about ready to go.
Well, let's talk just a little bit about the scoring. The scoring is a little different than when you and I played. You had to be serving to score. Now it's called rally.
Rally scoring, meaning there's going to be a point awarded on each play.
Every time the ball hits the ground,
Correct.
Somebody's going to get a point.
Yep, and if you lose the point, then the other team will serve. If you win the point, you keep the serve. And that continues from the old way of playing. You'll also see the libero, which is the player that inserts himself in the back line. He's wearing an off-colored jersey. Now, Kecoughtan, I don't see anybody dressed as a libero, so you may not see one from Kecoughtan, but Bethel will have one.
Right.
They come in and they can play up to 3 rotations depending on where they enter. Libero meaning free, so they are free to enter. It does not count as a substitution.
Right. Now, the assistant coach for Bethel is Joe Pye. Now, I've known Joe Pye forever. His son played for Coach Kozlowski on the football team, and we're talking back in the 70s. So I've known Joe that long, and I thought it was his son, who is also Joe, that was coaching. I get in there and said, Daddy is helping the Lindsey Bama Holcomb. Bama meaning spike.
Bama means spike in Filipino.
We'll tell that story a little bit.
We'll tell that story. We're getting ready to go here for the Big Pink announcement here. Did you see the girls' team come out and join the boys? And we're going to pause for that. A lot of enthusiasm here, purely for the raffle draw in the Big Pink. Breast cancer awareness is alive and well here at Kecoughtan High School.
As well it should be. As you mentioned before, it's in NFL. You'll see it with the players with the pink gloves, the pink shoes.
Well, and of course the jerseys. Kecoughtan's going to wear these jerseys all month, I'm told.
Okay.
The girls will. She won cakes too.
675, 641. 675, 641.
Well, what we could talk about before they get going, the level of coaching has stepped up throughout the league. I mean, Lindsey Bamba Holcomb used to coach both boys and girls last year. If you can imagine that schedule on her. She surrendered that to Sabrina Dio, who's done a really nice job this year. But she's kept the boys and done a terrific job with them. Over here, Dean Epps was a teacher here last year, now a teacher at one of the middle schools. He takes his time to come over here and coach these guys.
And that's what makes it hard for him to get people out.
Right.
Because he's not here at the school.
And Gail Clinch, of course, who coaches the Kecoughtan Warrior girls team. And you see these teams that they look like they're part of one team, don't they? They give each other 5.
All right, talk a little bit about Bama.
Oh, the Lindsey Bamba Holcomb, we were talking about her name. The spike in volleyball, the volleyball created in 1895 at the YMCA at Holyoke, Massachusetts. It spread all over the world by the YMCA. Well, the Filipinos in 1916 developed the technique that you see today. The high loft set and the spike, or the Bamba.
And so her first name, her maiden name is Lindsay Bamba, literally Lindsay Spike. And
if she was over in the Philippines, they would call her Spike.
Spike, double Spike. Of course, I watched her set out there. Both the women's coaches, Gail Clinch for the Kecoughtan girls and Lindsay Bamba Holcomb for the Bethel boys, play against each other to this day and play together on certain teams, and they've played they've played for years. This is a sport, and Lindsay's the one that will really beat the drum. I guess Gail as well. It's a lifetime sport.
Right.
You can play this sport a long time. And so they really encourage kids to get out and learn how to play so they can bring it and play their whole lives. The girls, I think, have as much part of getting the pregame going here as the boys.
Well, they had a little tunnel there for the boys to run through.
Well, I see Russ Long out there for Bethel. I see Jeremiah Hardy. And here's the first serve by Kecoughtan. And it's a good serve by Kecoughtan's number 24, Marty Bryant. So Kecoughtan grabs the 1-0 lead. Confusion on the Bethel side. But remember, she has benched a few of the starters, so this is not the normal group. And we all know from volleyball, communication and experience together is key. Long with the set, little dink.
That was a great dink that time. 2-1 in favor of the home team.
Josh Glab,
Kecoughtan Warriors.
Glab the back there for Kecoughtan, not able to sneak up and get it. Here's Long here. Nice return by Kecoughtan. Set by Long. Another dink attempt. Kecoughtan not able to get it across.
Tie score 2-2.
Number 1 for Kecoughtan is Spencer Vincent. You also will know him as the Warrior at the football games.
Right.
There's Vincent there. Put over by number 20, Kyler Apgar. Another dink.
That was Russ Long doing the serving for the, I'm sorry, not Russ.
It was
yeah,
Russ
it is
Long.
Russ Long for the Bruins.
Tai Shong Young on the dink. There's Vincent. Michael Wright for the Warriors puts it out of bounds. Vincent. Nice hit by Marty Bryant.
Went into the net or something that time.
So side out, point to Kecoughtan. Now number 3, Zach Heath. Little confusion there. Marty Bryant couldn't save it.
You can see that if you're not playing a lot together, there is some confusion. Who's going to get the ball? We got a 5-3 Bruins score.
Tai Shong Young serves it out of bounds. That seems to continue the jinx if you mention the name of the serve. 5-3 Bethel.
Well, that's you that did. That wasn't me that
it does
did
see,
was that me?
This is Kyler Apgar for the Warriors, and he hits it in. Long. That's Tyler Deck.
5-all.
So I imagine Lindsay Bamba Holcomb is going to hold those guys for a while. Good serve by Bryant. Michael Wright with this little pop over.
Yeah, he just hit it right where two people couldn't make up their mind which one to hit it.
You know, the first time out taken by Bethel. We got a minute. Michael was talking to me earlier. Michael stands out of the crowd over there, by the way, on the Kecoughtan side. He's got to be 6'6".
He's a good-sized lad.
But Michael has a breast cancer survivor in his family, his grandmother, Marie.
Watch the replay here.
See Michael on the far side, off the chest. Can't believe it. There's Michael right there with the little dink over. But his grandmother, Marie, is a breast cancer survivor, so we want to send out our regards to her here on Dig Pink night at Kecoughtan High School. Kecoughtan holding a 7-5 lead And probably an 0-11 team feels a victory here just by forcing Bethel to take a timeout.
Well, and I know Lindsay said, listen, we need to get together. You guys are not playing as a unit. You're standing around not making a decision.
That time, Bryant, it's not Bryant, it's, Kyler Abgar serves it below the net. And now Bethel's Salim Brown. That's called, as the local rules, by the way, you notice that the ball hits the roof or the banner in that case, it is playable.
Well, see, had it not hit the banner, he might have got it because the number 3 for the Warriors, Zach Heath, was going for it. Tie game now, 7-all. I'm sorry, it's 8-7 in favor of
Salim
the
Brown.
Bruins.
Salim Brown with his pink socks tonight.
And I don't know what color those shoes are.
Not pink, they're more red. A couple guys wearing the pink socks tonight for the Bruins. 9-7 Bethel. There's this miscommunication as number 23, Josh Glab, backs away. He's going to be subbed for. Here's Jack Olson, who Coach Epps mentioned. Jack wearing about every color of the rainbow in his shoes tonight, and only the pink laces. Set to Abgard, here's Olson. Nice pop by Jack Olson. Adds a little offense right away.
8-10 in favor of the Bruins.
Jack, a basketball player for Kecoughtan as well. Kind of a spinning side serve by the libero for Kecoughtan. Number 15, Hayden Smith in the game. Point to Bethel, though. 11-8 Bruins. Tyler Deck with the serve. There's Jack Olson right into the blockers. The blockers set it.
What a nice fight that time. That number 24.
Marty Bryant
played. Oh, yeah.
It's finally has rotated up the front line, so we get to see what he does while we watch Jack Olson serve for the Warriors.
You can see some real leapers on both of these teams.
The set over. Not too close to the net. Not a big kill. And good spot there by Zach Heath as he just places the ball inside that out-of-bounds line. Olson again. Too long.
11-all.
No, 12-10. Bethel was still ahead by a couple there.
Well, the games go to 25, and you got to win by 2. Unless it goes to the 5th contest, and then it's 15.
To the 15. That was Marty
Bryant. Still got to win by 2.
Marty Bryant with a set from Vincent, but he got too far underneath it and popped it out of bounds. Service ace by Alex Howard.
That was right in between. Now we got a timeout by the Kecoughtan Warriors, I believe. Yep. Yeah, 14-10.
Yeah, Alex Howard served that one where no one was. Well, we see Kecoughtan playing well. And again, we go back to we watched the girls' game earlier. One of the secrets is just to get the ball back to the other side. Make the other team make mistakes. And if Lindsay Bomba Holcomb has shuffled her lineup a little bit.
Watch the replay here.
Then that works. Here's the replay here. Howard's serve drops right in front of Olson.
It was you couldn't come over and drop that ball any better for nobody to be able to get a chance at it. The only chance you had is to kick it.
And you'll see a bunch of different lineups here. You see they had the libero back, Hayden Smith, and the other two backline players forward. Vincent with a set. See, the first hit's called a block. That time Olson yielded.
Well, and in that case, he was right in front of the other guy, and it kind of blocked him out.
That time the service by Howard right into the net.
15-11 Bruins.
Now Spencer Vincent for the Warriors, who is the Warrior, not in costume tonight. That time Marty Bryant saw it, his eyes got big, and he swung so hard he swung in the net. Point Bethel.
And that's one thing, these guys that can go so high, they really have to be aware of where that net is.
Jeremiah Hardy on the serve. Vincent over. Long with a set. Little dink covered very well by Heath. Not able to get the point, though. Kecoughtan adjusting well to the dink. Ball out of bounds.
I was looking for more real spikes from the Bruins, the way they were warming up and hitting the ball, but they're not doing it.
They've shuffled their lineup for this first game. You'll see it in the next game, I believe. Nice serve out there by Marty Bryant. Bryant, who hadn't played competitive volleyball, seems like he plays pretty well. That one
right on the line.
Yep. Kecoughtan trails by 3, 17-14. And Bryant continues to serve. Long saves it for the Bruins. Slid too far underneath the net. Sometimes you get away with a half foot, but upper body won't cover.
Well, your half foot is bigger than most people's foot.
It tripped people on the back line. That's a nice save. Surprised no carries. Yeah, I was going to say about 2 carries, I thought.
I thought the first one was.
Yeah. Kind of delaying the whistle, wasn't it?
A little.
O'Brien again. Nice serve. He spots it.
We got a tie score here, 17-all. Brian's doing a good job back there, Marty.
The dink. Olsen covers it. Michael Wright.
I don't know how many. That's about 5 serves for Marty.
Yep. He's pulled him ahead by 1. Just getting the ball back. Now you see Lindsey Bomba-Holcomb make some substitutions. In comes Jeff Farrow. In comes Hashicum Simmons. So 2 of the starters have entered. The scheduled starters have entered. And Bryant promptly hits in the net.
That substitute did 2 things. You got some good players in, but it took you get in a rhythm serving the ball. And Marty got out of that rhythm because he had to wait.
Olsen saved the dink. Nobody there to cover for him. 1918 Bethel, I believe. 1918.
Russ Long doing the serving. And out. I guess I would be quiet about him serving.
That's right.
I picked up, sitting too close to you, I picked that up.
Now notice he moves up to the front line to start. So what he's going to do, since he served, he's a backline player. He will not be able to attack. Zach Heath for the Warriors. Old-fashioned underhand serve, but it gets the work done. Now that's the newly entrant there, Jeff Farrow.
Yeah.
And you can see why how high he got up on that hit. Now Tyshawn Young to serve for the Bruins. And he's
20-all.
A good competitive game here in the first.
Oh, it is that.
First set of the match.
If you look at the records, you think, okay, the Warriors have not won a game.
Gets a replay on that.
You get 1 or as many?
I believe it's 1. Probably didn't call carry on that when it gets too low. Yeah, see the double hit called on Farrow. Farrow just in the lineup.
21-20. 21-all.
Catch the top of the net. Now that's the perfect serve if it rolls over and drops.
I was talking to Mike Twisdale behind us. His daughter Michaela is on with the girls, and he says I like the competitiveness of this, the way they score now, but he says I don't like it when I'm playing.
And Jack Olsen, I hope we caught that one on the television, but Jack Olsen with a nice hit right through the blockers, and the second blocker tried to pick it up, but he lifted it. He carried it. Point Kecoughtan. And their libero back in. Out of bounds. Kecoughtan moves ahead by 2.
23-21.
Hayden Smith. Just getting the ball over. Funky spin on that. Oh, Marty Bryan had it, but he couldn't take it back over the net.
It went sideways instead of back over the net.
1 point lead to Kecoughtan. Now Jeff Farrow. Farrow knocked out of bounds.
23 all. Did you say this first year plan for
everyone on the Kecoughtan side? So Jack Olson. Nice block, out of bounds, but that's the block.
Yep.
Just went out of bounds. Point Bethel.
24-23. If Bethel wins this, they'll get the first set.
Bryant. Nice set from the back line.
That was from the back. You're absolutely right. 24 all.
Now Jack Olson to serve. Now the only drawback is he's got to move off the front line. Olson.
And that's what kills you. You really have to concentrate. You can't be wandering around with your mind. When you're serving, your main goal is get that ball over the net.
Set point, Alex Howard. Olson. Bryant. A little dink, covered well by the Bruins. There's a big hit.
That's the game.
No, yeah, that's the set. Bethel takes the first one, 26-24.
26.
Kecoughtan's got to be mighty pleased.
They really did a good job on the thing. Now we're switching ends, switch
benches.
Watch the replay on this.
This is probably the best set hit of the Bruins right here. Nice play there. Up to Bryant. Dink is covered well.
But this is a great setup right there.
And then see Hashcom Simmons right over the top and drives it down.
And what most people will do will come over to the far corner rather than going down the line. And sometimes by going down the line, you catch the other team leaning. And all you have to do is just have your weight shifted a little bit, and it's hard to recover.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, there's different hits. Inside with your hand, outside with your hand. Put different spin, even on a spike like that. You put different spin, send it a different way. It's the only way to get it past these blockers, because if these guys get up to this level, you see everybody's about the same height.
Right, they'll go up and you can block it, and that's what we saw. The number 24 for the Marty, for the Warriors, did a good job, a couple blocks when he got up on the front line. But he did a great job serving the ball. He must have got at least 5 points on his serve.
But I know they keep the statistics on this over at the benches, but getting that serve in is so important, because even if you win 1 point out of 10 that you get in, you have a chance to win the other 9, but you win that one outright. So, good server is important, and Kecoughtan shows you there. We'll see what Bethel does now in this second set. I imagine we'll see the stars we were told earlier in the week, as they probably have suffered enough, and they're going to put in the ordinary group, which you'll see the coordination will be so much tighter for Bethel, and that's what they suffered from there in that first set.
Well, at the beginning of the game, it was like they were out of place, but it wasn't so much out of place as they were not used to being in there.
Right. We see the winner of the cupcakes leave. That's disappointing. Winner in the
you want me to call her back here?
I tell you, that's a big box of cupcakes. Well, here comes some more there.
Oh, she's not stopping.
No, not stopping at all. I don't know what's going on there.
And there's a good shot over there. That's Dan Riley with his back to us. I'm sorry, that's not Dan. Dan's right over here.
They've switched this game.
They
switched from the boys to the girls. Up official is Riley.
That's Betty Gaines over there with her back to us.
Betty Gaines.
You see right there, Dan is on the ladder.
Yep. That's the up official. Betty being the down official in this match. Good picture there. Double new faces for Bethel.
Let's see if we can pick them up. Number 7.
Coleman Casebolt, the libero, is in.
Number 7.
Yep. Number 7, DeConti or DJ Jackson is in.
Max Parent, number 21, on the back line. Kyler Abger up on front, number 8 is.
Now you're looking at.
See, I'm looking at the wrong.
No, we're back. It looks like the Bethel started, but DJ Jackson, Hashcom Simmons, Josh Owusu, number 9. Is he in the game yet? Because we'll see him in this ball game.
Kecoughtan got Jack Olson, Spencer.
Vincent.
Vincent.
The libro's just come in.
Max
Hayden
Parent.
Smith. Yep.
Number 20 for the Bruins. That's
Barney Bryant.
Kyler. 15 is that's what you call the libero.
The
Hayden
libero,
Smith,
yeah.
Libero.
All right, here we go.
He's
Bethel
free.
to serve. This is Russ Long. Jack Olson. Over by Bryant. Libero there for the Bruins. That's it. Oshcombe Simmons didn't really have a play. Nice block, though.
Oh, that was
Simmons.
a good block. That looked like number 17 for the Bruins. They got that block. I don't see 17. You have 17?
Don't have one on mine. Now that time we saw Oshcombe Simmons way up, head height about level with the top of the net, and came with a fist, but wasn't able to put it in bounds. He had the right idea to go down the net and try to hit it in the open
because
spot.
if he'd gone straight across, it'd been blocked. 1-1.
Marty Bryant with the serve. Olson to Michael Wright. Dinks it over. That time just not a real good hit. Serve in the net. Point to Bethel. 2-2 tie here. Now the libero for Bethel was going to rotate forward. They insert number 7, DJ Jackson. Apgar couldn't get it over. Point Bethel. Good serve, hit the top of the net. Great recovery over there by Farrow. Nope, up into the separating curtain there. Serve. Good, just getting the ball back the other side results in a point for the Warriors.
Yeah, and you look at the Warriors, and Michael Wright doesn't get off his feet real high, but he places the ball well.
I'm surprised that wasn't a carry. That rolled up not Farrow's chest, Simmons' chest.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. If it comes off your chest and you hit it, that's a double hit, right?
If it hit your body once, so it could hit in the V of the arm and the chest, and maybe that's what he called, but if it rolls up, it's a carry. Olson, Apgar, and Olson with a nice hit. Covered well.
Good rally.
Real nice play. I don't know. The right touch the net.
I thought it
could have been
I think it was a carry.
Yeah.
I don't think he got the net.
Couldn't see it behind the stanchion here.
6-3 in favor of the Bruins.
Right with a dink again. And a good hit that time.
Wow.
Number
when
7,
you
DJ
hit that
Jackson.
ball and you can get it at the feet of the people on that back line, that's a tough dig.
7 into the net.
That's what the
So
call
Jackson
was.
in the net. Point goes to Kecoughtan.
So it's 6-3. Six, four.
6-4. Excuse me.
Six, 5.
That time Jackson tried to kind of overhand it.
Yeah.
Hit it too far. Kyler Apgar with the serve for the Warriors. Good serve. Covered nicely there by Carleman Casebolt. Set by Vincent over the net and out. Had Olson ready. Couldn't feed him. This is Jeff Farrow serving for the Bruins. Right?
Keep it in play
yeah.
is what you're trying to do.
Especially when the first pass is out like that. You really have just to recover and get it back over. Farrow again. And that's a dangerous play because Jackson's waiting, chomping at the bit for that one.
Yes, he was. It was when the opposition sets you up, your eyes get real big.
A double touch over there. Again, behind the stanchion where I'm sitting. 10-5 Bethel.
Yeah.
Bryant. Spencer Vincent out of bounds.
Yeah.
A timeout called. So Warriors try to save.
Well, they're trailing by 6.
Well, they didn't want to get the game away from it. And you mentioned earlier the pace of the game. If you can slow down the pace, even with what we've seen earlier, they just had a substitution.
It's substitution
and it
because
threw the server off.
The server was on a roll, and it was like, I'm in a groove, and then all of a sudden you made me stop and wait, and the next time he served it into the net.
Right.
So you get on a it's like golf. You got to get in a rhythm.
Just throw them off a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
All you want to do is throw them off a little bit, and that allows, maybe you get a bad serve next time.
Oh, great block.
Yep, nice
play. Great block. That was 21 for the Bruins. That's Russ Long.
Nice serve. Vincent sets it back for Olsen. Olsen a little low on the hit that time. Olsen showing some great athletic ability here. Said he plays basketball for Kecoughtan. Jeff Farrow continues the good serves. Vincent to Michael Wright. Farrow, Long. That hit. Nice hit that time.
14-5.
So Farrow continues. Got away from Olsen, hit it too early. And that caused the whole thing to break down. 15-5 now. Bethel as Farrow continues along. Time, I think, to wipe a wet spot off the floor here on Kecoughtan's side. We watch Jeff Farrow. I don't know if it's an intentional stoppage.
Yeah, the official stopped it.
Oh, I'm talking about Kecoughtan just spotting a wet spot they may not have spotted before.
Yeah.
To kind of slow this train down as Farrow continues to roll along.
One way to do it.
Well, one thing about Farrow, you've noticed that the serve is not any sort of fancy Karch Karai-like top spin, super duper serve. It's a solid, hard hit serve to an area where the Kecoughtan Warriors need to step up and play it. You either play it with your hands low, or you got to step up and try to pop it up.
He's not jumping or anything, just a nice serve. And
Jackson recovers nicely. Here's Olsen. Nice block by Jackson. And drops on the Kecoughtan side.
You got to be impressed by DeConte Jackson. He's doing a great job on the front line. But all those guys, they can leap.
They can. Nice save there. And Farrow helps himself out, but he leaps from the back. See, if you notice, he leaves his feet, and he's a backline player. He was in front of the 10-foot or the 3-meter line, and he left his feet. So he's not allowed to do that. He's not allowed to attack off of his feet.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's setting. There's a carry by Farrow. He's too low. The Kecoughtan with a couple quick points.
16-7.
Jackson.
Nice dig that time by number 20, Jeff Farrow.
I want to notice, I believe it's 39.
I'm sorry, not Jeff Farrow. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there. That's Kyler.
I'm going to guess 39 is Josh Owusu for Bethel. We've seen a couple of numbers off of these away jerseys.
Yeah.
He's wearing 39. He wears 9 at home. Let's call him Owusu. We'll check that between games. We saw number 17 earlier make a couple plays. That's Matt Rucker we're informed. So
He lost the shoe.
lost his footing, and literally.
Yeah.
17-8 Bethel as the official calls for a towel to wipe up the floor. We see Rucker back in now on the line, the front line for the Bruins. Him on the left. Jeff Farrow is back to you, number 20. 21 is Russ Long. And that's, we believe, Josh Owusu there, and 39 on the right of your screen. As they replace shoelaces, tie some shoelaces. A couple of pink ones there.
Oh, Lord, they're big enough to go around your waist.
Got plenty of them, doesn't he? You know, we mentioned the sport of volleyball is new to the city of Hampton. It's new to the high schools in Hampton. It has been played at the Hampton Y for a number of years, and I have very fond memories of playing down there in the co-ed leagues several years ago. It is a lifetime sport, and there's a huge crowd that play volleyball at the Hampton Y. I know now the Y is glad to see it spread to the high schools, and those programs can feed off of each other. Nice save over into the pipe. Local rule says it counts if it hits up top. You got to keep playing it. Jack Olson wins a point for the Warriors. There's Olson. Hadn't shaved in about 3 years.
3?
3. Nice shot by Long. Set there. And Vincent. Spencer Vincent, normally a setter, went for the kill that time.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to get it. And this is Owusu for the Bruins. That time Vincent set behind Bryant, not able to get it back on. Point for Owusu.
18-9. I'm sorry, 19-9.
Nice up. Olsen. Just over.
Oh,
That's how Bryant carried it.
you can see that catch.
Right.
You're not allowed to do that, right?
Nope, can't catch it and carry it. Wusu again. Here comes a set. Notice the double jumps. I mean, not a very good play that time.
Well,
the
it
set
wasn't
was
a
too
very
far
good.
back.
The set was not up
No.
close to the net.
But you notice that Bethel does something we haven't seen tonight, and which you see on the international level everywhere, in college level, the double jump.
Yeah.
Where the two of them jump trying to draw the blocker away from where it's going to be. Long going to be over. As Abgar. And I think Bryant was in the net. Right here in the base of the net below the up official.
20 to
No, it was Bethel
11.
that was in. Farrow with the set. And Long. That is Russell Long. Farrow with a nice set and Long with the
And
kill.
boy, you can see when there's a nice set because it's a clean kill.
There's a good set, and just the hit got away from Bryant. Apgar put it where it needed to be. Wanted about a foot and a half off the net. Nice dump. Oh, nice defense there. Bryant with the block. What a block.
That was great.
Run that on replay at our next break, because that was a play by Bryant. Looked to me like a one-handed block. I caught it out of the corner of my eye. Bryant to serve now. Marty Bryant, senior. That time, Matt Rucker not able to get that set up where it needed to be.
Well, there's nobody in the front on the right-hand side that time.
And he's not listed as a setter. Michael Wright able to get that one. That was set to Kecoughtan side. Yeah, we're going to watch him. And got a little away from him. That's Hashicum Simmons. He was very excited to see it.
Yeah, he was.
And just mishit it. Joe Pye says, cock the wrist down a little bit.
23-14.
Bethel moving towards his second win here. The rotation occurs. You see the libero come out for Bethel, number 31, Carlin Casebolt. Ball just out of bounds.
Man, that was awful close. Right at the corner.
Kecoughtan trying to stave off Bethel's onslaught here. Hayden Smith. Excuse me, not Hayden Smith.
No, it's number
Joey
11.
Hildebrandt.
Yeah.
Hildebrandt with a nice serve. Set to Casebolt in the back line. Knocks it out of bounds. You see the officials in your screen there. The point of emphasis this year is the official signs. Very complex set. Olsen. Olsen again got in the net.
Oh,
no, he called the net.
He went over the net.
Called that on Jeff Farrow. Lindsey Bamba Holcomb is not happy with that call.
Well, I kind of have to agree with her on that.
Yep.
And I think we're having a point of contention because she thought he went over the net.
That's the nicest way to say that Lindsay's not happy. Coach Bamba Holcomb caught Olsen. She thinks Olsen was over the net. And the officials working together again. 23-17 Bethel. That point remains awarded to Kecoughtan. Casebolt. Jackson just dumps it over. Right. Long from the back line. Bryant, right again. Couldn't get it over.
17-24, this is a set point for the Bruins.
The server is Hashicum Simmons. I'm surprised that's not a carry. You see how low Bryant's hands were. Set to Jackson. Nope. That's to Owusu.
And that is game.
Very nice set there to Josh Owusu.
25-17. That is
Good
the
shot
second
at Jack
one.
Olsen.
Watch
See the replay on that. This is the one they've been trying to get to Owusu. He's right there in 39 in the foreground. The pass over. Pass, set, over to Owusu, and the kill. Right
and
on
you notice
the
official didn't move his head.
That didn't.
Went right by his ear and he didn't move his head.
He doesn't think that antenna is blocking him up there. 2-0 Bethel, not a surprise here. I think Kecoughtan's got to be pleasantly surprised the way they're playing.
Well, I think so too. They took them right down to the wire on the first set, 24-26. It was 25-17 on the second set. Again, we want to come up with two names, one from each one of these teams before we leave, so I can give them to Wubei.
Well, we really haven't seen yet, I think. We haven't seen Bethel yet at its best organized.
Right.
Again, they started a different lineup tonight, a couple starters in, a couple starters out, and that throws off the rhythm. We saw a little bit right there at the end. We saw Owusu's hit for the game winner.
Right.
So let's see what they do this time. Meanwhile, Kecoughtan maybe feeding off of this a little bit, getting a little stronger. They've moved well. They've had most of the mistakes have been theirs. They have not been pounding hits from the other side.
Right. They have been making the mistakes that caused them the points. And this is why it's so different for me, is because, you normally you can serve and you make a mistake, well, no point.
Right.
But now, and I like this. I like it because it makes the game go, makes it more exciting, makes it more exciting for the fans. And I love the competitiveness of both of these teams.
Well, I can see a little bit why Lindsey Bamba Holcomb is talking about what a great athlete she has, and she does. I think she's trying to figure out how to get them to play. They have to go that next level, which means the Chesapeake schools, the Virginia Beach schools.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to really see organized, long-time programs over there. And so she's training them to play that level. She's not having much problem here on the peninsula. She's 3-0 here. 2-2, but 2-0 here in the conference.
Okay, we got some changes.
Bethel's going to mix it up again.
Bethel's got big number 23 in there, Kyler Thompson. He's a good-sized young man.
Marty Bryan to serve. That is Billy Touch, the libero for Bethel. Touch again. Olson for the Warriors, set to Michael Wright. Tries the dink, not working. Bad set that time. Apgar looking for number 11, Joey Hildebrandt, not able to find him.
Right.
Kyler Thompson does come in. He's wearing the pink tonight. Pink arm sleeve, headband, and sock. Set over to Apgar. Wright goes for the dink. Covered well by Hoshcomb Simmons. That time, Hildebrandt not able to save it for the Warriors.
2-0 favor of the Bruins.
Russ Long seems to serve frequently and well. That's Long. Hey, see? Next time I'll say Russ Long not serving well, and maybe he'll hit it in. Tyshawn Young in the game on the front line for the Bruins now, number 10. And the server is Joey Hildebrandt for the Warriors. Touch. That's Kyler Thompson, a little long on the hit. Point to Kecoughtan, 2-2. Now that was some ups.
He got up in the air, didn't he?
Hoshcomb Simmons. Beautiful set from Russ Long. And Simmons just towers over that play.
And that's what you got to understand. These kids, and they ought to have an assist like you do in basketball, because that was definitely an assist.
Okay, there you go. That time, Spencer Vincent not able to pancake that one.
But he put it right over the top of the front line and hit right in front of the back line.
That's confusion on the back line. Ball drops in. Tyshawn Young with the service winner, the ace for Bethel.
Number 23 is coming in for the Warriors.
Josh Glad, we got the start tonight. He checks back in.
5-2, favor the Bruins.
And to be honest, I couldn't tell you which carry he called on that one.
There was like two of them.
That's a
but
short
the whistle, you'd have to think it was the last one.
Right, timeout
Kecoughtan.
Called by Kecoughtan.
Well, I tell you what, if fans have not seen high school volleyball, they need to come and see it.
They do.
I don't know what they charge. I don't know if they charge to come in, but what competitive games that you see. The girls it was so loud in here.
Was.
And they started off, the Bethel Bruins lost the first two games and then finally come back and won the last. It was
Kecoughtan.
Kecoughtan went down two and come back and won the last three. And this place was just going bonkers. I mean, it was really great. So these are things that these young people put a lot of time involved in, and the coaches put a lot of time. Come over and see some of these matches.
800 million people worldwide play at least once a week. That's quite a statistic. Well, nice hit there in the back line. 800 million play once a week, play volleyball. Created by the gentleman at the Holyoke YMCA, Massachusetts, 1895. And he created it as a combination between handball and basketball and some other sports. And it grew in popularity rapidly. Apgar knocks in the net. Point Bethel. Very well organized. The organization here at Kecoughtan has been terrific. You know, they're responsible for all the officials. Scorers, linemen, and the up and down officials. Jackson saves it with knocking the ball right down the throat of the Warriors that time. Jackson, quite the athlete. You can tell he doesn't have a lot of volleyball experience, but he's gotten the concept, and he's got the athletic ability. That time carry by Bethel called on number 12, James Beckwith. Jackson is one of the he's active in showing the hit. He and Long both go up.
15, Hayden Smith has got the different colored jersey on.
Libero into serve. A libero can enter to serve, but he has to serve in the same spot in the 6-man rotation. So he can serve, and he can play 3 rotations max because he cannot move to the front line. And he enters, he does not count as a substitute, whereas we just see Marty Bryant come back in. He is a substitute in taking the place of Zach Heath. And the curse continues. It's that time the libero drives it right into the net. Kyler Thompson now for the Bruins. Bryant with his best hit of the night.
Well, that was a good kill.
That time, beautiful set. Bryant with a nice kill. Something Bethel needs a couple more. Kecoughtan needs a couple more of. Rotation, Jack Olson now with the serve. That time confusion as both frontline men come in. Marty, as James Beckwith, and DJ Jackson both move too close to the setter. Good serve by Olson off the hands of Thompson.
And he's really upset with himself because that was not a bad serve or a hard serve. He just misplayed it.
Olson, nice short serve. Thompson just knocks it over. Set by Vincent. Knocked out of bounds by number 23, Josh Glab. Got too far under it, Bob. We've seen that a couple times.
Yeah.
And they get too far under it, you tend to knock it long. Here's DJ Jackson. Good shot of him. Obviously has played basketball before. The rotation of the ball through his legs. What a block over there. That's James Beckwith.
You see how quick that was?
Yeah, very quick hands that time.
I don't know why they can get that on camera. I just saved your life, you know that.
Beckwith and Tyshawn Young join together on the block. Bryant just dumps it. Hey, he said it to Bryant that time.
He was waiting for that one.
Every frontline player's dream. Now Spencer Vincent, the Warrior. It is 13-9.
13-9. Number 7 for the Bruins just waited, and that's Deontay Jackson just waited a fraction of a second too long to hit the ball.
One of the, you would think the tendency is put the weak players on the back line when you play volleyball.
Yeah.
But the back line takes a lot of skill to dig and pass.
I think the back line is harder to play than the front line.
I think so too. You'll see some of the best players in the world are the backliners and the setters. Bryant carried.
Yeah, he caught it.
Yep.
He said, no, I didn't. No, I
Close
didn't.
call there. Coach Epps not happy on the Kecoughtan sideline. Beckwith continues to serve for the Bruins. 15-10 Bethel. That time off the top of the hands. Service winner for James Beckwith. Now Beckwith listed as an outside or right side hitter. I mean left side hitter, right? The outside hitter. So he's showing a lot of. He must have a lot of ups. Bryant set to Long. Long out.
There was some jumping ability. I don't know if you saw that or not.
But Long's the one with the scholarship.
Now I'm talking about the 28 for the
Jack Olson.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Jumped over the chair to go get that ball.
Yeah.
Jack Olson.
Little dink. He dived. Oh, almost saved. Very nice save by Olson, but couldn't quickly get his hands up.
17-11.
And here's Long serving again for the Bruins. That time, Hashicum Simmons let that one go over his head, thinking it might be out of bounds. And the back line kind of faked out. Service now.
Well, yeah, they weren't sure if he was going to go for it or not, and they weren't ready.
Josh Glab, Jackson, Setting Thompson, nope. In the net for the carry, double hit. The double hit's hard to pick up, especially when they do the overhead sets. discussion at the scorers table. 18-12. Bad year for parts of the United States. Good score for the Bethel Bruins. 18-12, you know, we're still in the bicentennial of that war. It affected Hampton.
That was quite a while ago.
It was. That was. No, don't remember it. See markers all over the place. Brand new markers up in downtown Hampton, right in front of St. John's Church, to commemorate the destruction of the Virginia militia by the British forces during that war. Fortunately, in the long run, we came out ahead. So Hampton pillaged.
I wish I knew what was going on. We're not privy to what the discussion is over on the scores table.
You're trying to figure out whether that battle in Hampton took place in 1812 or 1813. It's, scores 1812. They may be doing a score correction. We'll see. Nope, they're going to keep it 18-12 Bethel. 2 sets to none Bethel. Extra sweat wiped from the floor. There's Coach Dean Epps. Good shot of him. And all all that waiting takes you out of your comfort zone. Now, I'll tell you, Young didn't use the what I would consider a proper form serve that time, kind of a casual serve, and it cost him. Young saved the serve that time. Long. They're going to set Michael Wright. Right again. And he's in the net. Big Mike, they call him. Big Mike caught the net on the way up that time, and he almost stepped on Spencer Vincent.
He's about
Spencer better watch out. That's right. Nice serve that time. Also not able to do anything with it. That's Hoshcomb Simmons on the serve. Beautiful. Simmons quite the athlete. Good serve again. Over by Vincent. Backline hit. Out of bounds. Did he get a piece of it? No. Point Kecoughtan.
He hit it, and neither one of the officials saw him hit it.
I think subs coming in now. Marty Bryant back in for Kecoughtan.
14-20.
He hold hands temporarily with Zach Heath to show who's coming and who's going. That's keeping track of substitutions in the libero are quite important in a volleyball match. Jackson with this dump over. Vincent. Nice stop by Bryant. Double hit and literally two guys.
Two guys, yep.
Epps says no, just one. The other one didn't hit it, but he's not going to win that argument. Dean Epps not happy with that call. Here's Tyler Thompson for the Bruins. Lindsey Bamba Holcomb over there talking. Substitution for the Bruins. Can't see the number yet. Thompson waiting to serve. They're getting the scores right. Maybe substitution.
The referee was looking at the numbers of the players.
Well, at 32, we don't have 32.
Games.
Thompson, we know. And he serves it out of bounds. 21-15, Bethel. And Jack Olson going to try to serve a few here to draw Kecoughtan back in it. Nice short serve, recovered. Double hit there.
That looked like somebody just ran right in front of the ball and just kind of messed up the guy trying to hit it from the same team.
32 is in, and you know, substitution that probably doesn't play a lot. So he's in. Good serve by Jack Olson.
17-21.
Jack also on the golf team here at Kecoughtan, a very successful golf team. Good friends with Chase Thomas. You know, he's a very good golfer, and Perry Barber. Good serve, hits the top of the net, and that's good. Getting a little confusion, Lindsey.
It looks like Bethel all of a sudden has gotten to the point where they're really confused on who's doing what.
Well, I think they've inserted number 32 there, and they're having a good time. He's not experienced with some of these guys that are playing, so he's finding his footing. Olsen to serve. And they serve, and number 32 not able to get the hit. Olsen. But doing disservice. Olsen, one of 3 brothers over there. Olsen, Will Olsen, and August Olsen. Apgar to Bryant. And it's going to
went into the net.
It hit the pole. It hit the net because it hit the support. But I guess on the hit over, the ground rules here are it can hit it if it's on your side, and you hit it into the roof.
Okay.
But that time you can't bounce it off the roof, try to win a point. DJ Jackson knocks it out of bounds. You can see the athletic ability she was talking about before the game in this Bethel team. Spencer Vincent. Set to 32 again. Gets it in. And he wins the point.
And the coaches are going nuts over there.
(23-20) Bethel. 32 going to check out.
I think he was in there to get a point, and he got the point.
Yep.
And that's Kyler. Is that Kyler Thompson? No, 32. I'm sorry.
No, we're looking.
I don't have a 32.
Don't know. Good serve there by Beckwith. He's quite the server.
24. Set, match, point.
Yep. Bamba Holcomb still giving some signs over there. Nice save. Can they knock it over? They do. Set. Hoshcomb Simmons, left-handed. Bryant. Simmons. Oh, what a hit.
Wow. And that's game.
Hoshcomb Simmons. And Bethel wins this one. 3-0 over the Kecoughtan Warriors.
I'll tell you, they may have not won a game, but they were very competitive tonight. Going down 26-24, 25-17, 25-20.
Well, very impressive performance by
You got
Bethel.
a couple names for me?
Yeah,
Write them down.
I'll tell you.
Write them down.
Write them down. Want to talk about them a minute?
Nah, well, you can if you want.
Well, I'll just say for Kecoughtan, I thought they all played about the same, but I thought Jack Olson gave him a lot of energy when he came in and was consistently the best player all night. Good-looking team, developing well. Dean Epps doing a nice job. So Jack Olson for the Kecoughtan Warriors. For Bethel, Russell Long played well, and we expected him to. Simmons came on a little late in the first game and had some terrific hits. Hard to separate those guys. You can see why they're so good. I thought Beckwith served well. DJ Jackson played well. I think I got to go with Long for consistency throughout the match. I thought he played well and certainly earned the scholarship he's got. He'll have a great career. So Russell Long, our player for Bethel.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to thank the staff here at Kecoughtan High School, Athletic Director Lee Martin, all their help they gave us. I want to thank our staff for doing a great job. The final score again, Bethel Bruins 3, Kecoughtan Warriors nothing. With Frank Edgar, Bob Hintz. Till next time.